Good evening again, folks. We want to welcome you to a great edition to MLC Talk. This is the platform we discuss all things Lutheran. Today we are having the second part series on um, updates from the disaster, the Totota disaster. And today we have with us our dear sister, Sis Couple Sele. She's joining us from our studios there in um, Canada, and also our brother Elijah Zena joining us from Minneapolis, our studios in Minneapolis. We're very much hopeful that the ambassador Jerry Tableau will be joining us from Freetown, Sierra Leone, and we are hopeful that the brother Abel Lewally and um, for our for our newly confirmed director general, we hope that he will show up before he he takes office officially. But we want to welcome everyone. Elijah Couple want to welcome you so much. And today we have with us in studio uh, three three of our guests from Totota. Uh, our sister Fita Kuyate, she is here with us, joining us from Turuta, and also our the Reverend Romeo Moma, and our brother John Dixon. Again, want to welcome all of you. Elijah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Woody, and thank you. And thank you to our studio guests. I want to say welcome to my own Reverend, the Reverend Romeo Moma. Good to see you again after so many years. And out of the faces on the screen, Fita and that of John Dixon, we want to say welcome. It's gonna be a wonderful conversation to just understand from your own perspective as to what has been happening and how is the community responding to this disaster. So we are happy to be here with all of you, and we're looking forward to a really good conversation today.
And our dear sis couple, how are you doing? And welcome to the show again.
Okay. Thank you, Woody. Good. Good afternoon to everybody in studio. To our very mama. Long time, like Elijah said, no, long time. Hope everyone is doing well. And to the only female among the two guys, the two men, I want to say welcome, my dear sister.
Thank
And we hope
you.
to have a fruitful discussion today, as we are always been doing. The one time we have a lengthy discussion with the president of the Bon County Association in America. And I hope we will get additional information concerning the disaster of Totota, the status of our people, how they going through after going through that terrible incident. And we hope to have a fruitful discussion with you people and with everybody. Back to you, Woody.
Thank you so much, sis couple. We will now bring on our Reverend Moma will just give us an introduction. Then we will go to our brother Elijah Zena. We're gonna have two questions from brother Elijah Zena. Then we're gonna go to our sister Sis Couple, who will be doing will be also bringing two questions. And after that, we will I will bring in two questions as well, and we'll also be taking questions from our viewers. Again, we want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Reverend Moma, I want to say welcome to you. Reverend Moma, are you hearing us?
Network.
Folks, there are challenges, as you all know, that in Liberia the network is not so strong. So they are trying as much as possible to continue the show. But we want you to please bear with us. Just bear with us. For we are hoping to have a wonderful show today. Brother Dixon, if you are hearing us, you can just unmute yourself, please. All right, Brother Dixon, are you hearing us? Okay, so we were just welcoming you and Reverend Moma. So if Reverend Moma could just bring us greetings from our people our folks there at the Totota Parish before we can begin the question. So we are actually not hearing Reverend Moma if he is speaking. All right, again, folks, we're just saying that we're just asking you to please be a little more patient with us. We
Can,
know
can, can a female introduce herself? Sorry, Mama.
she as you can see on the screen right now, she's
Oh, okay.
gonna
All of them in one place.
no, she's in a different location. As you can see, she's actually trying, she's going in and out. Um I think what says creator, what you do, turn off your videos, and that way your bandwidth can stay a little bit. If you can turn off your video.
Okay.
Yeah, turn off your video. Let's try it that way.
Is that what you turn on?
No, that's fine. If you can turn off your video, that's fine. Then you'll be able to talk with us. Are you hearing us, this creator? Even President Dr.
Yeah.
If you can turn off your video, that's fine. Then you'll be able to talk with us. Are you hearing us, this creator?
This is a serious issue.
Yeah.
Internet problem because it's not a small thing.
That's
issue.
yeah.
I don't know what they only have two cell phone companies. I don't know what they're doing. They can't even provide good services for the people.
Yeah, we have to have a compare.
Yeah, it's too frustrating. Very, very frustrating. People feel they are not obligated to people. That's how they feel.
Yeah, these are some of the
Pay your money and you're not getting service and they feel comfortable about
no, absolutely,
it. Yeah.
and something can be done about it. If the network in Tanzania, if the network in Sierra Leone, if the network in Guinea can be stable, why about Liberia?
What
Liberia
about
is not on an island, you know.
what about us?
Right?
What's going on?
And this is an old
We,
age issue.
we corrupt.
No, I mean it's serious. It's serious,
That's
brother.
serious.
There's an
That's
old
serious.
age
If
issue.
you look at it,
You know?
if you look at what Liberia they charge for communication from the US to Liberia, and you compare it to other African countries, you know that Liberians pay more money to communicate back home as compared to
Yeah,
other African countries. And what you
absolutely.
think about this? Because our system,
Yeah.
the way
Everybody
our system
got
works.
10 cents, 5 cents, 25 cents, 10 cents for on something. So then the consumer barely wait.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not just today. This is something that I would say during Ellen time, during George Weah time, and during this Blackeye time. I mean,
I don't know how LTA regulate these cell phone companies. I don't know
mm,
how they carry
with,
about
with,
regulation.
with, with about 50 commissioners.
For
No, right?
Liberia, it's high.
What's going on? All of
Yeah,
those
The
commissioners
regular
are getting something like 10 or 5% on these cell phone companies.
yeah. Says Kuyate, are you there?
It's too frustrating.
All right, folks. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to
Maybe you call through phone.
yeah, we can get them on the phone so that
Yeah, basically, I think that might be the only route we might go with them right now.
I'm sure.
But Sekuyata is on there, but I don't know whether she can hear us. She kind of like get frozen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you're watching, we are dealing with technology right now. as you are aware, Liberia situation with technology, internet service. So our guests today, they are in Totota, especially in the rural area of Liberia. So we are working in the background to ensure that they can get on. So if we can get them to to show up on our strings, we might probably call their via phone and have them to just speak through the phone, and then you all can listen in. But we apologize for the technical glitches we have having. Basically, it's all due to Liberia's situation when it comes to internet services within the rural areas. So stay tuned as we are working behind the scene to get our guests on the show today. My sister couple, what's going on?
Huh?
What's pop?
What?
What's popping for your end? What church you go to nowadays in Canada? Okay, I see Ramon Moma is on.
Yeah, Reverend Moma is on. Yeah, Elijah, please take charge. Why? We try to make some adjustments, please.
Can you hear me, Ramon Moma? How you doing today?
Sure, I can hear you. I'm good.
This is perfect now.
All right. Wonderful. It's perfect. While we're waiting to get Dixon and Kuyata on the phone, Reverend, can you just bring our greetings from Totota and that of the Lutheran Church in Liberia?
Thank you so much. Let me say thank you so much. And like I said earlier, that it's a privilege actually to share on this platform tonight. It's 8:17 our time, so for us it's night out. Totota is great. Totota is coming back to life following the disaster, and I believe we are actually coming back to life. My senior pastor, Reverend Mo Leway, is okay, and today was a great service. Today happens to be a great service. We were closing the Louis T. Barber's Lay Leaders and Ministers Training Center, where 18 of the students graduated today, and actually they were very much happy and have now taken off to get back to their various parishes. But on the overall, we are good, and Totota is good, and I believe all of what we're doing, we are doing it to promote the Lutheran Church in Liberia. In our closing, we were also informed that the Lutheran University will be opening in September of this year. So we are expecting that we will have something good in Totota in the shortest possible time.
Wonderful, Reverend. I am excited and I'm happy to hear about all the good developments coming out of Totota, especially the Lutheran University. We all are here working along with Aliyah as we are preparing for that grand opening of the Lutheran University. I can tell you this has been long overdue, but I'm excited that the Lutheran Church in Liberia now is coming to that point where we can say, we've been here for so many years, and now it's about time that we put our legs into higher education. And I think we have the human resources to accommodate a university or to be accredited to confer a master degree on people. So I think that's a good step through the doors. And I want to say thank you to you and the folks on the ground who are working tirelessly around the clock to make sure that this is happening, especially in Totota, because I learned that Totota is going to be the seat of the Lutheran University. So that's another contribution to that community. Um, so going in as we are here today to talk about the disaster that happened in Totota, um, being being a person who has lived worked in Totota for so many years, to start up this, I would like for you to walk us through this scenario from the incident and up to present before, because we know that when this incident happened, a lot of people who came and they made a lot of promises. They made donations. Some of them made donations. Some of them made promises to the community. So, as people who are working with the local community, can you just walk us through what has been what has happened between the time of the incident up to now?
Um, December 26th was a dark day in Totota, Liberia. Having celebrated a joyous Christmas, the following day we expected that the Christmas mood would have continued. To our least expectation, what we realized was that this tanker came driving through and there was an accident. That's the understanding. There was an accident, and this tanker fell before the upper room United Pentecostal Church, or right now the upper room Apostolic International Church. It fell at about 2:30 p.m. And after a certain time, people started to run over for I-15, others to observe what has happened, and others to also at least be a part of the making so that tomorrow they could share whatever little they think they could gather from there. It was at about that hour, that around about 4:30, this blast went off. The blast is it was actually something that is hard to think about because we never expected that. Children from all walks of life went over to be a spectator. Though others went to also appease themselves, but children from other areas went to be spectators of what had happened. A very big thinker, and seeing what was happening, people were passing through from Nema County, others came from the Bapolu County, and they stopped. And the person who also stopped was a journalist. He tried to see whether he could be able to have a stream of what was happening so that he could use it as part of his newscast. Unfortunately, in the blast, he was shot and died.
Wow.
The fire was successful. People could not just get away from. No one expected what actually took place. People did not expect. So today, that trauma is in the eyes and ears of those who witness first-hand account of actually what happened. As a result, when the information went out, the lawmakers and the senators and others from Bond County and other part of Liberia, the speakers, they all started to come in to serve as frontline helpers. But with such incident, we needed some coordination because if all were to come and work from one point or the other, at the end of the day, it would have subsided and people would not have gone anywhere and the assistance would have been short-lived. So with the assistance of Honorable Tonola Vapla, he came in and coordinated the whole others, uh, even from because we have a church called this thing were the first actually to have come in. They gave rice. They gave some stuff that others could also use. And they were even generous enough to use their vehicles to take some people to hospital. But before then, when the blast occurred, Phoebe was overwhelmed. Most of the citizens that were injured were taken there. And because of the degree burned, Phoebe could not handle the burn. So many of the patients were taken to Monrovia at hospitals JFK, a 14 military, Catholic, and ELWA. So until then, Phoebe served as the first area of contact. But because of its limitation, many of those that were injured beyond were taken at those various hospitals. That's why many did not survive, but that's actually what happened on the first day and continued.
Thank you very much, Reverend, for the history behind the incident and up to patient being taken into the hospital. We understand that. Are you there, Reverend?
Yeah, he's there. I think.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah, he's
I'm
listening.
getting.
Go ahead.
Okay. We understand the history behind the incident, and we understand that there were some of the victims that ran away and went to other places, and then later on, people were finding them. So as we stand today, how can you describe the atmosphere in Totota, and how is the community being supported by the local or the local organizing committee that you are a part of, and are those who were affected responding to the services that you like the rendering?
Hello, are you getting me?
Yeah, we hearing you, Reverend.
All right, thank you. Like I said, Todota is coming back to life. It's becoming lively. When the incident was after the first weeks or so, going to a month, Todota was actually paralyzed. Usually for our watch night service, the New Year watch night service. After the watch night service, you have young people from all walks of life roaming the communities that overnight, hitting on everything that will come in their path. Bucket, old bucket, whatever you can think of, and that would have make it so much lively for the celebrants. But following this year's New Year celebration, as a result of the incident, right after the 12 o'clock prayer, the midnight prayer, the city went back in its cool state of emotion because there was no celebration, there was no joy. People were still grieving, and actually, the grief was not something to take for granted. Um, you made mention of actually what is going on and how you guys were helped. Yes, when the incident occurred, there was a lot of fear from such that they would be arrested because they were there. Some of them were like helping to scoop gasoline, and so people were afraid, thinking that because uh, they were captured on cameras, and so when they are looking for those who were there, they would have been amongst the number. So with such fear, some of them hid themselves, some of them went in their homes, and in some of the villages, some of them took off because they felt that whenever people were being searched for, they would have been amongst the number, so they refused. However, when the information was made clear that no one would be arrested because this was an accident, and whatever disaster that followed was a result of this accident, people began to gain courage, and that's how they came up. Moreover, people started to find them and talk with them. And so when they started coming back and leaving their houses, their villages, those were assisted and taken at the TB hospital for continuous treatment. The, the situation regarding committee that I heard, things are on a, I'm hearing myself, things are on a footing. What was actually happening is that people are thinking this incident should like benefit them. And when we go out to talk to them, we tell them that don't use the word benefit. It will sound awkward that your child was involved in such a thing, your husband or your boyfriend or your sibling was involved in such a thing. And as a result, you come back to say, my benefit. The words sound awkward. So it will be better you say, what could happen or what will be done for us? Some have been misunderstood.
All right, folks, you are tuning to MLC Talk. This is the platform we discuss all things Lutheran. We are in conversation with
Uh,
local residents
this
of Totota.
450,000 that is mentioned that, hello, are you there?
Yes, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Ramoma.
All right. Like the 450,000, people have misunderstood the fact that the World Bank and such world institution won't just deal with individuals. They will firstly deal with government, and government who knows or has priorities for certain area or whatever has happened, then of course they will come in. And as far as we are concerned, we have not heard from Honorable Vapla to tell us that the money has come or it is there. Whenever that money comes, sure Honorable Vapla will make the best information, give us the best information that we can all work with. Go up to present, other give render assistance. They are looking church in Liberia $10,000. We at church in Totota, the St. John Lutheran Church, we give 30,000 Liberian dollars, and other churches as well, individuals as well. And this amount, of course, when the incident occurred, the president, President Walker came to Totota and he donated 10 million Liberian dollars, which of course were part of the donations that have been used to help people who were in such dire need.
Thank you so much. Elijah, you got a follow up? So, Kopoku Kame.
Uh, yeah, just to follow up on my question, John Dixon, you as a young person living in Totota, and this disaster happened, and how can you describe the situation in a way that has affected the young people in Totota? You are muted, John. Were you able to unmute him?
John is muted right now, so I think John is sitting next to Reverend Moma. I'm not pretty sure that's the reason why we're having this feedback. So, okay. Thank you, Reverend Jess. So, John, you want to unmute yourself, please? Okay, so he just went out. But
Okay,
we can
let me
continue the
just make a quick
conversation. We
follow
can
up.
continue. Yeah, when he comes back. Yeah.
Yeah, let me just make a quick follow up with Reverend Moma and then couple maybe whether you guys can come in. Reverend
Okay.
Moma, I understand that you are on the local organizing committee, and as a person who's a you are a counselor trained by the Lutheran Church in Liberia Trauma Healing and Reconciliation Program. How has the healing process since the disaster been happening with the victims in the community, and how the community is responding to the process of counseling?
Well, following the disaster, the psychosocial committee was constituted. The problem we have is that the situation overwhelmed us because we are not fully manpowered. We have like a full person working. Notwithstanding, we've been working, of course, but to cover the entire Totota and its environs with what actually took place at that easy thing. I believe you received some clips of some of the areas that we visited. And one of the distant area we visited was when we traveled across the St. Paul's River to visit one of the clients who lost her only son. And that was an emotional time with for all of us because she was someone who put in all her time for this son. However, for the healing process, yes, we want to believe and actually thank God for that is going quite well. Very well is actually taking place because people who were broken, I did not visit the hospital from the initial onset. Members of the team went when a good level of healing has actually taken place. I had the opportunity to travel to Monrovia, to the various hospitals and TB as well to visit the guys. And I tell you, incident I saw, despite the healing process were actually taking place, in terms of the wounds, but I was broken. And I said to them, it was good that I did not come here on the very first time when you people were brought here, because they were now in the healing stage. But for what I saw, it was devastating. Something that for someone to go through such a burn, it was not easy. And those that survived, they have stories to tell. Recently, the community has come back to life. Like I said to you earlier, when the incident happened, Totota was paralyzed. The young people were no longer capable of doing those things that they did. The Lutheran compound here is a major playground for the young people, the youth, as a matter of fact. This is where they have their practices in the morning. This is where they have a bulk of their games that they play. When the incident occurred, it wasn't. But right now, the field has once again become lively. Practices are going on regularly, and they are all in other areas. In addition to that, others are also helping to serve in the area of counseling, despite uh, we are not all working together, but as a result of the fact, I mean, the incident that occurred, they have put themselves on the front line also to talk to some of the victims that are also there. From the Lutheran Church end, the choir members of the Lutheran Church on every Sunday, we've considered them as part of our team. Every Sunday, they move from community to community to speak with people, talk with them, sing with them, and pray with them. As a result of that, they are also coming on a good foot. So Totota is becoming lively. The healing process has gone far from what it was to what it is now. They themselves are willing to move out in the communities.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sister Paul,
Thank you, Larry. Thank you so much for that um, information you provided. So there are a lot of things that went out. I know it is not easy when someone lost their only child, or even if you have 10 and you lost one, it's still not easy. Imagine just a person that alone is like you want to go crazy. I'll just want to say thanks to the committee and thanks to the church for the level of support that you people are giving to the burn victims, my family. Or there was discussion during the presentation. You talk about the 450,000 I was given by the World Bank. And you said up to now, you know whether the committee have received it or not. I just want to know what is the TOR of your committee and what is the working relationship between your committee and the Kapala committee.
Well, what your arrow has to do with working in the confine of what has happened, going out on a weekly basis, and reporting on Saturday when a meeting is called. And so this is what we've been doing. When we initiated the process, the committee uh, managed to help us by giving us an amount of Liberian dollars 16,900. That's a little, but we strive to work on that in the first week, covering places that we covered, so that we will be able to have a first-hand report as to what is happening. Regarding the full 450,000, like I said, I don't have 100% information on that. The last meeting that was held with our VAPLA and others, we were informed in that meeting that truly the World Bank will not work with individuals. The World Bank will work with government through government, and the government that have priorities will then direct whatever funding that it has to those kind of areas. But presently, I can tell you that what the disaster committee has been working with has been donations from Nigerians and also the Totota diaspora citizens who helped this committee as well with the amount of 400 United States dollars and one bike. The bike was purchased and turned over. Presently, the bike has been registered, and we've been using that bike to go out on the various trip that we are going on. So even make the work a bit easier, what we did was to hire the service of another bike because a single bike could not carry all of us, and so we had to hire the service of another bike that whenever we are going out, we go out in pairs. So they go and another two go. We are all pastors presently working on this disaster committee. You have the Hope of Glory Pastor Emmanuel Lawrence. You have the Better World Pastor Dennis Ben. You have the team pastor or the pastor in charge of the St. John Lutheran Church, Totota, the Reverend Wo Eliway, and also you have the Reverend Oma, who is an associate pastor and chairperson of this committee.
So this is what a follow up, Reverend. What's the relationship from your committee to that committee? Because I think the committee was set up by the Lutheran Church, right, to render some services for the church, and so I just want to know the working relationship between the FAPALA committee and your committee, because your committee is a very crucial committee that is now carrying on a lot of work when it comes to the veterans and our family. So I think it should be one of the committee that the Fabana community should be working with. So this is why I want to know the working relationship. Is there any cordial working relationship between the both committees that make things easier for you, or the working relationship is not there at also in making things difficult because the church will not do all this is a national issue, right? So if a money was allocated for such an event or whatsoever that happened, I think they'll be working along with those local committees to see how best things can be put into place. So, what's the working relationship from your committee to that of the Fabana committee?
Well, about the note, we have relationship, whether cordial or not, yes, but we do have relationship. To be more precise, the psychosocial committee was actually set up by the disaster committee, not the Lutheran Church. The Lutheran Church has a trauma healing program, and when the incident occurred, the director of the program, the Reverend Philip Lucian, came in Totota, and I shared with him what actually is on the ground. He said with us, well, since you guys are on the ground, whatever information, whatever assistance we too can get, we will link with you people to, because you guys are on the ground. We can't come from Monrovia and serve in this area. So you guys are on the ground, we can carry on whatever work. So whatever information that we have or we will need from the trauma healing department in Monrovia, we sort of call on them. Of recent, we called them and said to them that we will be needing training for some of the some ICOP training for some of the guys that will want to join us. Because what has happened, the psychosocial committee, people see it as maybe a waste of time, supportive in the sense that what they will get. And so we've made clarion calls to others to come, but up to present, only the four of us yet, five rather, including Reverend Benson, the bishop's wife. So the five of us are the one that have been doing what we can do in terms of on the onset, like I said, they assisted us with $16,900, and that has been the amount I've spent. And lastly, when the Total Bay citizens sent us give us the 400 plus the one bike. That's what we've been continuing to work with. So in terms of relationship, well, on Vapla isn't on the ground always, but you have his co-chair and others that are working. Make our report, we go over and tell them this is where we are and what next. And they are telling us, say, well, let's hold on because we have to make our. So personally, they are in the wake of making their report, and we believe after making their report, whatever they have, we continue from there. But I want to say thanks to you so much for the 400.
Uh,
Can I follow
okay.
up a question?
Yeah,
Yes, I'm back.
follow up, couple.
Yes, the for me, I let the young money business. The 450,000 you talk about, you said you received 16,000 plus from the committee. Was it from the 460,000, or they did not specify where the money came from, and they just gave you the 16,000 to work with it?
Uh, to be clear, the 16,900 is in US dollar, is Liberian
Oh,
dollars.
$9. Oh, okay. Wow.
16,900, and
That's that's that's
it came
that's a,
from
that's wow.
That's that probably $100.
Yeah,
it came
Less than.
from
just to get
it came from
$100. Really?
it,
That's a
it
that's okay. All right. My next question, Larry. You talk about visitation to the victims and their parents. Yeah. So, what happened with those that are still in the hospital? Yeah. Can
some
is the committee still visiting them, or your visitation is only limited to uh Totota and its surrounding, or you go
yeah
to the hospital too?
yeah, we had two rounds of visits at the hospital. When the disaster occurred first, we dispatched a team and they went over and visited the four hospitals. And that was the time the incident was actually overwhelming. And when things were like coming to normal, we again pay another round of visit. And when we got over, the bulk of the guys that were there injured had either been discharged or they have died. And so right now, the number TG has discharged the last batch that were there, and JFK, ELW Hospital, the 14 military hospital, and Catholic hospitals. I can tell you have if there are any there now, they cannot even reach 10, nor 5. So presently, our concentration is within Totota and its environs across the simple rivers and other areas because the bulk of them have now that were there and survived. Those that survived, the bulk of them have now returned.
Okay, I think I was told that there are still victims at the military hospital. Yes, you can have one of my sisters. She's a nurse, or she or DEO from Kakata, and she said I want to do around, and there are still victims at the 14 military hospital. So I don't know. You need to check up on that. But she said they are one of them. I think is in the ICU, or he been there a long time, but he's not. Anyway.
Yeah, when the number reduces at those areas, when those number reduce at those hospitals, we thought now that the concentration should be within the Totota area. So that's why our focus at the hospital has now reduced to Totota and its environs.
Thank you so much, Reverend. I want to come in with my two questions. Then we will go around again. My brother Elijah will follow through. I want to go to the work of our church. And my sister said when you talk about money, then you know you raise some antennas. Yeah. So um specifically, I know that the church is involved with psychosocial. Um, do we have centers wherein, and then are we are we doing making awareness, for our people to go and get the needed help? Because, like you said, those who are then discharged from the hospital and other family members that we know that everyone was impacted one way or the other. Okay, they would need this support, uh, um, for example, to regain self-esteem again, and the issue of bullying. That when people see them in the community, people will not, see them as laughing stock. What are other programs that the church, our church down, Lutheran Church in Liberia, is involved with? I know you're doing the counseling part, but what are other programs that the church is involved with reintegrating these people, into the society? People that have been discharged.
From the highest level, the Lutheran Church in Liberia, like I said on the onset, they too also came in with cash donation of 80,000 Liberian dollars and some eggs of rice. It was given over. Regarding the idea of or the concern of bullying, it won't exist out right now. There was even a kid that we took as a special student at one of our institutions or one of the schools around Totota. This child went to school and his friends saw him and started to mock him. The tanker that fell, the seventh name is God's willing. And they started to use the seventh day on him. God's willing is coming. God's willing is coming. And so he felt somehow started not to go back to school. We
Amen.
we made our way on the campus and told the principal that this child is a special child and he should be treated as a special person. We learned from them at the time that he was put out of school. When we asked what was the problem, he said he never had uniform. And so those of us that were serving on the social unit are serving rather, we decided to do our own intervention by providing him the uniform that was needed. It did not come from the $16,911 given, but we decided to do it on our own so that he could get back in school. And we gave that advice. And we go about telling people because this is one of the things, and what we try to help them with is to help them overcome because many of them will have this scar to live with. It's not going to go away just right now. That scar, that mark will remain. And to hide it and try to hide themselves, it won't help. So we told them the first thing they need to do is to accept the fact that they have gone through such an act. What next could they do? Except try to start thinking as to how the healing process can take place. But if they keep hiding themselves from society, they will always hide themselves. So the first thing they should firstly overcome, I mean, help accept it, then overcome, be able to live to overcome. People are still on a denial in terms of that this incident, in a denial sense, in a sense that they sometimes spirit this guy every time he goes to his gas station somewhere, something disastrous actually take place. And these are some of the kind of saying that we hear from people, not just the victim, from people. Some of those that died has saying that they were crowning them, and those that were crowned in their dream, they were saying that so
All right.
from them. So actual spiritualism is there, but the reality is them to overcome.
All right. My next question is going to Brother Dixon. If Brother Dixon coming in, I don't know if Sis Kuyate is around. So maybe since your network is better, we can they all can just share with you. I know she has been trying to get on, but it's been difficult. We really do appreciate her. Um, so is the community thinking on the idea of like working along with the county school leadership that there should be one should have a policy in place that anyone bullying, anyone caught in and out of bullying should be reprimanded, and then maybe have a counseling team or have a counselor in our various schools or our various areas of worship, have a counselor or maybe a team of counselors, because like you said, this is not going to go away right now, and this is something that we are dealing with, so we need to find a solution. So it's the community thinking in that direction. The young folks, the national, the, the local leadership. Are you guys thinking in that direction, Brother Dixon?
Well, let me come. I will leave it with the rest. They will say one or two things.
Okay.
One of the Mother Linda Jensen Siankolo is moving over to them on through the week where she sits with them to provide
Reverend
counseling.
Moma, Reverend Moma,
Yep.
sorry Moma, sorry to interrupt you. Can you start your answer from the beginning because we did not get you. It was kind of breaking. So can you start your answer from the beginning, please?
All right, like I said, the
Mhm.
Totota clinic, the clinic within Totota, the health post here in Totota asked the social psychosocial committee to actually help with counseling. And so the Reverend Linda Jensen Ciancolo, the bishop's wife, the Bishop Emeritus' wife, she drives in the area has been going on. But for a collective effort with other locals, we've not come to that level yet. Maybe we could use the idea that will be gathered tonight, galvanize, that we can galvanize our effort and see how all of us can work together. So the others will
Yeah,
come in.
a follow up to you, Reverend Moma. You already have a case study. This kid,
Yep.
this child decided not to go back to school because he was bullied that God's willing is coming back. God's willing is coming back. There are a lot of children that will be bullied, even in our communities. A lot of people will be bullied. So I think the leadership should see in that direction that certain structure should be set in place while we are trying to do the counseling as well and telling these people to accept the fact, but we should also tell, we should also educate our community members that though though you did not go through this situation, but those who went, it's not of their fault. It's almost like how the old man Peter Baraflomo used to say, if you tell the cat not to eat the fish, tell the fish not to smell. So that approach too will help our society. And then one last thing I would just say quickly, and then Reverend, not Reverend, but Brother Zina will come in. I want to ask this question. The I'm not talking about the $100 US, which is nothing. The 1,000, 16,000 is just 100, is nothing. Okay, the contribution that came also from the diaspora, born country citizens in the diaspora. What did that donation go to? What did it go towards?
Okay,
If you
we
don't mind speaking towards that.
a total of 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Okay, let me let me break it up. The Totota Health Post received $1,000. Then the Psychosocial Committee received a bike plus $400. And it is the $400 plus the bike we've been using to go about what we've been doing thus far. Since
Okay.
we end up with 16,900. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So quickly,
Thank you.
um, hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Sina was coming, but go ahead. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so I am the representative of the diaspora citizen over here, and since the occurrence of this disaster, we have been concerned, uh, along with our bigger brothers back then. I mean, they have been so much concerned. I remember when this happened on Tuesday, on Saturday, we had the first meeting. A lot of people, I mean, there were so many areas. Some people had medical supplies going to different hospitals, like the Phoebe Hospital. A group from Bon County also in the diaspora donated some medical supplies to the Phoebe Hospital. So when we met, we were like, what can we do? Since we got a lawmakers and everybody coming in the Bon County Legislative Caucus, what can we do? And the issue of medical supply wouldn't have been left out though because it was an emergency situation. So what we did was we agreed to have work in line with the local clinic here, along with the Sacco Social Department that is held by Reverend Romeo G. Bowman. But we can't just give donation if we don't know what the people want because it would definitely be a waste. So we were working with them, and we had a budget from them in a tune of 4,000, I think 4,000 some more United States dollars, including the motorbike. The motorbike is included in that. So they were requesting for two motorcycle and some cars that could enable them to move around. So when they presented that document to us, I did send it to our chat room, and we had decision to make money. Uh, Dr. Toto visited Liberia, and he also had a meeting with the psychosocial team. Again, they presented to him the same document. So we went back to our meeting. We said, okay, what can we do? Let's underwrite the cost of one motorcycle and at least give some little medical supply to the Toyota clinic. So for that bad drive, we decided to give some medical supply to the Toyota clinic, but the leader said to us, we have just moved facility we were using to another facility that is bigger than what we were using. But where we are now, it's not safe to even keep the little drugs that we have. So if you are on it, I mean, it's going to be something anybody could break in there and take it out. Because I visited the clinic as we speak now, some of the commodes there were removed that have not been replaced. So when we sat with the ORC, at least to get a list of drugs they wanted, she said to us, no, though we appreciate the gesture of the diaspora citizen, but we want you to give us what we think we urgently need. And we asked them what their needs were. They talk about iron dose, they talk about getting a shelf in the storeroom for the drugs. And they also talk about electricity, though water is still a major challenge there, electricity also. And they had several other challenges there that they listed. So we went back to our group and we agreed that yes, the money should go towards that. So we donated 1,000 United States dollars, $400 with a motorcycle to the trauma healing department. And interestingly, we can say to this platform that the little donation I came from up there went a long way in terms of the workings of the trauma healing, in terms of the local facility here. Because I visited them. I saw the iron dome. There is a solar LED they installed outside, at least to make the yard a little bit bright because they don't have electricity there. And they also have the shelf installed in the storeroom where they could be able to keep medical supplies. So, so far, that's what the funding went towards.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
go ahead.
much.
Go ahead, General.
Thank you very much, John, for that explanation. Sitting here listening to you, listening to very moment. Um,
We didn't
what
hear
are
you. You were like,
are you hearing me? Are you guys hearing me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah. Here, yeah.
Okay,
And then maybe we
so
can allow Sis Creator to come into.
sure. So sitting here listening to what Very Moment explained and what you just explained, like what I've gathered from your explanation is that almost bulk of the support you have getting in Totota has come from the diaspora Totota citizens. Bulk of the money and the material you have working with came from the diaspora. Because I know that the United Bone Contact Association, when the incident happened, the support was going to Phoebe Hospital because they had a lot of victims there. So what I would like to know from very moment and all of you, because I have few questions and it will be directed to you, the young people, and as well as I'd like to hear from very moment. To you, very moment, I would like to understand from you what is this. You can take note of the questions. I will ask everything, and then you can just answer it in sequence since we have a problem with the internet. Um, so my first question, very moment, since this incident occurred, what is the statistic of the victims and that of the fatality, those who pass away, and then and the next question is, besides the psychosocial counseling that you guys are rendering the people in or the victims and the survivors, what other services are you rendering to these people instead of the in regards to the day-to-day activities of survivor since they came from the hospital? And then for the young people, Kuyata and that. No. As a young person living in Totota, what can you say is your experience since this incident occurred in Totota? What's your own experience as a young person living in Totota? What can you say to that? And then I will stop. And before I stop, my last question would be very moment also. What are the programs that you guys have put in place with clear goals and working with that of the National Disaster Committee in Liberia, that of the Tono Lava Committee as a local committee in Totota? What are some pragmatic program that you guys have organized with clear goal of what you want to do? Because it seems as though you have not received a cent from the national body in regards to services you are rendering in Totota, and you're like micromanaging everything on the ground right now.
All right.
So Reverend, if you can if you can
Thank
come
you so
in
much.
last and
So what we
Reverend, if you can come in last and have sis
all right.
Hawak, sis Fita to
Okay.
come in, then we can give Fita a few minutes, then we can give our brother just a minute or two, then Reverend Moma can, because most of the questions were directed to Reverend Moma. Yeah, go ahead, sis Fita.
Yes, for me, my experience of what that happened in Totota is a very, very terrible ones because I was like almost taking note of everything that happened from my house to where the tanker blasted is not too far. So I that evening because it was almost 5 o'clock and I saw people from my community. It was all running that tanker had fell and gas was rolling. So I didn't know that even my chicken went there. So I just left sitting in my piazza and I heard the blast of the tango. It was about 4:56 when I heard that blast of the tango. I didn't know that it was the tango actually. But I saw the smoke coming up very, very deep. I saw somebody coming, walking. They were really coming. They told me, say, oh, this is not small thing, people already died. I said, where? He said, where the tango fell. So that's how I went to my office house to check on my children. And they told me that the children went there. So I myself too started running. I even felt that in the whole rolling because my three girls were there. So because they do the talk continue, the talk even talk from my home and they carried there while I was not even in the door. So it was just God that saved my children because they went there for the teacher from the boys. They made it, they couldn't go around the tinker because the children they were all around the tinker, the boys they were so hostile, so they couldn't give the girls any chance for them to do anything. So that's just how they do. They don't love problem. That's just how they walk. And when they sat down behind, so they were there again. The people they just started taking that gas now like a play thing. So somebody say they try to hit the other compartment of the gas for it to come more. So right there and they said the police carry electrical battle there. So we really know how the fire really blasted. So it was just God that saved my children. But even my children being saved, it doesn't mean that I'm not crying on a daily basis. I'm crying on a daily basis because people who lost their life they were so useful to their people. They were so useful children. I'm telling you, useful children. Their parents are still crying, though they are not yelling with cries, but they are still crying in the community. People are still crying because those children that their parents left, that left their parents and went over there, their parents still crying for them because they were so much useful to them and they didn't even know what took them there. There were children who have been good in the community. There have been no real news about them, but just to lose their life just after celebrating Christmas is not easy thing in this community. We are really traumatized. Even for it can really bring tears to my heart because the first group of young children, our future girls, no boys, because of the boys are not born that die, they are men and the women. And the young people that die, many of them are under 30 that die. So something on a daily basis, it's just something that very welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. This disaster has given us several different, I mean, mindset. You know, I'm a local media practitioner, and I was on the scene of the accident. I had just left my room that afternoon about 3 o'clock. When I turned my phone on, I saw this announcement in Radio Totota chat room asking all workers to have gone to the site and then do some work, which I decided to have gone there. In the process, I saw this God's willing tanker laying right at the crossroad. So I was like, what happened? Why would this tanker just fall here? And I mean, the place is barricaded and nothing. And you got a lot of young people, but then young people have gathered, I mean, trying to get gasoline. Though this is something that is not known to Liberia, this could happen anywhere and people will go there to get gasoline. But again, it brings something to my mind. A lot of people in Liberia are ignorant about certain situations because I went on the scene. I saw a lot of young people. Look, I try to talk to people. This is gasoline. This is not fuel. Besides, I mean, the sun is hot. This could explode anytime. But again, I mean, when things happen, though it's frustrating, it's bad. I mean, but there were no measures taken that would have told young people that this is a danger. Because in an advanced country, the first thing we will see, we will have sign indicating danger. Nothing of such were there. And then the next thing is the place was not barricaded. Though at the end, I mean, at a certain point in time, the security tried to go there, which even caused some of the security to have lost their lives. But I saw this as something that we Liberians we needed to learn from, because what happened here on the 26th of December, I'm not trying to say anything, but Mr. Zina, I was unable to eat anything that is fresh in terms of meat church for 3 good days. I mean, I lost Peter. I can, when I send you pictures of what I saw, it's so terrible. And it just speaks to us that more need to be done in Liberia. One, we need more awareness to be done. And some of the lawmakers who came on the scene actually believe that we need to do more in terms of awareness. Because if young people had known the danger of what was ahead of them, they wouldn't have gone there. And it beats my imagination when people try to mock other people, trying to say they have gone to school. And we are resilient people, to be very honest. But if a man is hurt, at a certain point in time, I was very angry when somebody tried to say that young people went there to steal. Because 95 then I went to hospital. So 95 good individuals who lost their life. Do you think all of them, all the 95% went to steal? And the answer is no. So it pings a lot if somebody sit back there and somebody sit in a corner and try to say the people of Totota are rogue. In fact, there was this program held with the Liberia Media for Democratic Initiative, and an officer of the Liberian National Police did report in that program that the people of Totota are reported in his office of being a constant habit of harassing people whenever there was an accident. And that led to a kind of problem. One of the eminent sons of Totota wanted to take a lawsuit. So I'm just trying to say it is bad when people try to I mean make morbid of other people. Imagine how many parents, how many homes were hit by this disaster. I told you for 3 good days, I've lost happy to not eat anything as a young person. So the impact on the young people is so hard. We move in a community, we talk with parents. We cry to the extent that you don't know how to cry, because You got a boy or a girl who you move with, somebody you sat with, somebody you eat with, just in a twinkle of an eye, and the person is gone. So up to now, as we speak, there are some people don't believe that their children are dead. They think as if the person will come back with money and the person has traveled is going to come back to them. You will still have conversation with them. Social impact of what this thing has brought to us young people is so huge, so huge.
Not just the
Yeah,
young
thank you.
people,
Yes,
as a matter of fact,
go ahead, Ramon.
not just, like I said, but also those parents that actually lost the ones that were breadwinners for them. It's a major blow to them. The economic constraint for some of those families or parents are now very high, and how to overcome it is the next thing that we have, the next bone that we have now to chew or to wrestle with. But like your questions that came, those three questions that came to me, let's just begin from the lower point and see what I can reach off there. For programs, one of the things we are thinking, anticipating to have as a program was firstly a group counseling. People that have left charge from the various hospitals and are now living in this community, what we are planning for them and working with them whenever we meet them is that there's a need for group counseling. Why? Because I might be able to overcome what has happened to me. Another brother or sister who is still down out of where the trauma has taken him or her. My life story could be a hope for that person. And group counseling, we tend to bring either them either at the Christian church or the upper church, some large venue where we could have a large number where they could share stories and how they came up, parents, direct and both direct and indirect. At another point in time, also was to have training for counselors. We expected that we'll have more young people to join us. Most of the churches, their members would have joined, so that we call a group that came the last time to us to have some introduction of counseling. We called and we said to them, we will be calling a meeting. After that, whatever information or decision will arrive at, we will let you guys know so that you can come to render us a day or two training. The same token, the trauma healing department of the Lutheran Church in Liberia has also considered train people so that they could have first-hand knowledge on trauma. But the problem remains uh, that we expected to join us have not yet signed up. And so we don't just want the trauma counselors to come and two, three person, they're just the same 4 person or 5 person that go carry on this work. So one of the things that has been happening. Another one has been they are planning to have a district memorial service. The guys who lost people who lost their lives and parents are gone. We are hoping that at the most appropriate time we will have a district service for them. The police did last this few days. Some police officers that also lost their lives in City Hall. We were not privileged to be there, but we are on a district-wide level. He understands when it comes to the statistics of victims. There are some areas that some of the information that we have has not yet reached our database. Of recent, the guys that came for the training here in Totota, some from other areas like Liberia, uh, across the Simple. There's a town that we are in, the first village, right? And so those three names are in here, and the 95 they mention of us is at 96. So informations are yet to be verified, but the 95 is true because that's what we earn together. But those are informations that have been that filtering, if verified to add up to our data, something that we really think about. All suggestions of victims. One of the things that we're thinking, especially those who do able-bodied men who were doing things for themselves, most of them right now with medical advice, that they should wait. They have to observe their health maybe for maybe 6 months or to a year. Now, what could such person be doing in the course of most of them that would love to do business? But we as psychosocial counselors, we are not there to provide funding. Of course, in our next report, we'll be passing it on to the disaster committee, and what they will intend plan for them is what we will be taking to them. When the major also has to do with children. Many of the guys that died left their children. Some of the areas you find children in the age range of maybe 5 months, some 5 years, some are school going age, and some are just toddlers. And those one need caretaking. Of recent, a guy that also was a victim in a fire, his wife was pregnant, died of recent, leaving behind a young kid. What become of such a child? So these are all concerns that we have. But as psychosocial counselors, if we are to intervene in a situation, we have to be empowered. So this is a problem and a situation.
And quickly, quickly to that, you see, the issue of what victim should be benefiting or I mean, suggestion for victim is something that can be taken lightly because, like he said, we have had our own statistic as it relates to the victims. There are some people, like he said, there's a child that is reported to us. This child has no mother, and the only father this child was depending on left also in the fire incident. So, I mean, there are several of them, several different children. Recently, I mean, there's a school in New Totota that presented to us a list of 30 students in their school whose fees have not been paid because their parents got affected in that fire incident. So they presented that list to us to give it back to our diaspora brothers to see how best they could help them. So I'm trying to say there needs to be
Brother,
more done. I mean, there needs to be
Brother Dixon.
more focus as it relates to what the victims should be benefiting. Because if this is not done, like Reverend said, I mean, there's a guy who is a breadwinner for his family. He got affected. Maybe he did not die in a he has been discharged or will be discharged, and he's asked to go for 1 year. The question is, what becomes of that person in the course of 1 year? What becomes of their family? Because
Br- br-
they are the breadwinner for
Brother
the
Dixon.
family.
Brother
So,
Dixon.
yeah,
Brother
yes,
Dixon.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry to interrupt. We have a comment here from one of the citizens of Totota here in the diaspora, Brother Sonny George, and he leads the group here in the diaspora. He's the head of the Totota citizens. Um, this is a comment he has here, and I'm going to read it. He said, "Thanks for the program. Totota needs to be proactive by developing projects with cost budget to address the needs of the victims and all survivors. This will help the VAPLA committee to apply for grants through the Liberian government to the World Bank. The community, the victims, survivors, and technical people need to meet to develop such project. You do not have to wait. You could also find other partners that will help to build the capacity or that will help that have the capacity to help. So now this is the question. We understand that you have okay, and he also made a follow-up question comment here, and I will add that the intervention in Totota has no pragmatic approach with clear goals and objectives to coordinate. So coordination will be, disjointed until the pragmatic roadmap is developed. Until this is done, there will be no coherent in implementation. And this is the point that we're driving at, saying
Um,
that why would be oh They got disconnected.
Yes, yeah, and wait,
Yeah.
that's a serious issue, right?
Right.
If
Because
It
because the thing is,
if you
is, yeah.
listen to what
mhm,
Barry is saying,
right.
everything 16,000 from the Fapala committee. Then he said there's
No,
a corner working relationship, and he doesn't know whether they received the $450. What's the corner working relationship?
exactly.
And
Then
now they
couple.
can call him the other guy. Takes him
Mhm.
talk about the very needs and they're going back to the diaspora book. A diaspora should just be an alternative of
Yeah.
income. This is a
Exactly.
national
So
issue.
right.
Not to go back
That's
to the diaspora. The diaspora is alternative income.
right.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
already have
point.
a problem.
That's the
I
point.
already have a problem with the Vakpala committee,
No,
especially with okay, the team is back,
no,
so we allowed this.
Elijah, to a point, right? Let me go back to the comment from CM brother Sonny George, right?
Mhm.
Are you guys hearing us, Ramoma?
We
Yeah,
can
yes,
hear
we
you. We
are.
can hear
Okay,
you.
okay. Thank you very much for coming back. So now this the thing, you know, you raise, brother Jackson or Dixon, right? You raise a concern of, what becomes of, like the orphans, what become of, parents that they are so breadwinner,
Yes. You see
left in
that?
a disaster and everything like that. We see all of that. But what is the roadmap? You see here, brother Sonny George is saying, look here, he said, um, there need to be a roadmap. Okay, you need to have a okay. Toyota needs to be a
Proactive.
proactive.
Yeah.
Okay, Toyota needs to be proactive by developing projects and cost budget attached. And until you find that roadmap, the 450,000 will not come. Or until you find that roadmap, others will not come
We're not
in with support,
talking.
because if you say 30% need to pay school fee, everybody will be needing.
Hey,
Okay, we
yeah.
ain't got food today, we ain't got this. What is the roadmap? People, people that will be discharged, how can you bring them back in the society? I talked about the issue of, continuation of counseling, and also doing sensitization that the fire disaster is not at the, let's say, the fire disaster victims. It is not their fault. Number one, there was an accident in the area, and some people were on local. Not everybody went there to steal fuel. Some people just went to see the action. And trust me, if I were in Liberia too, in Totota, I would have been a bystander. A lot of people just go there to see what's going on. You understand? And some people go there to help. That's our nature in Liberia. If there's an accident, people will rush on the scene to help, because we are not that developed nation to call 911 and everybody come on the scene and do what they got to do. So you read brother George comment. You need to have this roadmap and engage the VAPLA committee, because what we're seeing here is only yourself trying to do things, but there's no
Yeah,
defined
everything
roadmap.
like yeah,
Come in, brother
yeah,
Elijah.
like what Wendy is saying, Reverend, especially Reverend Moma, you are on the ground, you are a trained counselor. Everything that I hear from you guys is that you are micromanaging the situation in total time. There's
Absolutely.
government is not doing more as she should be doing for the people and the victims of total time. And you guys are depending on people in the diaspora. What the diaspora, the citizens of Totota did, it was a solidarity told their community of what happened there. So the responsibility is not on the diaspora committee to take up the responsibility to restore Toronto. They can help. But when this disaster happened, it's a national situation. And Toronto Vaplat, thank God that we're going to be having him on the show next Sunday. And
Right.
these are some of the questions we're going to be asking him. Because I would like to know from him how many times he been to Toronto, and what has been the contribution from the National Disaster Committee towards the victims and the survivors? Because it seems as though the pressure is on you guys in Toyota, and you are just struggling and juggling with it and trying to find means out of it. So, like Brother Tony just said, there should be a roadmap. There should be an intervention plan, clearly lay out with specific goals and objectives that you want to achieve. And you
Right.
send it to
Right.
Toyota Vapla and I seen and said, look, this is what we are experiencing in Toyota. The community is hurt, has been hurt. The people are back from the hospital, and there are some people that were breadwinners for their families, and right now they are incapacitated. They cannot do these things for the community anymore. How can we help these people while they are still recovering? How can we support the family? You can come and counsel me and I'm hungry. How can I accept that counseling when I'm hungry after you leave? You see, so there should be shelter provided for these people. There should be food provided for them and care provided. If they had children, different needs should be addressed by the Totona Vapla committee through the local committee. And that awareness can only come to them when your committee, those of you who are the local people, raise these concerns and bring it to them. If they don't want to address it, get on the national media and talk about the constraint you guys are facing. Because I feel for you guys. You got good heart. You want to do it, but you are incapacitated. How can you help somebody who is down when you are incapacitated? You cannot help. You have to ask those who are in the leadership to make sure that you get the necessary resources that you need to help these victims. Otherwise, we will keep talking this. At the end of the day, everything will just go down the drain, and you have people living into that, people that government supposed to be helping, and they will not be receiving the kind of needs or services that they're supposed to be provided. They will not get it.
But Elijah, let me just come in quickly. Then Reverend Moma and the team will come in as well. Reverend Moma,
Yeah.
remember in the Bible, I think God asked Moses, right, and said, and asked him, what do you have in your hand, right? And God used the rock that was in his hand to divide the sea, the Red Sea, and the children of Israel were able to walk through. Correct. So listen, I'm saying this, that you have people to help you. Help is out there, but until you can clearly define how you want the help and how the help is going to be applied, it would just be like, just turning around and just ruffling around things that there'll be no direction. And one thing I will tell you, the diaspora that you're depending on, the diaspora, it's not only about money, but diaspora you have very fine sons and daughters of Totota that can help you and put this document together properly and just explain to them the need. They will put this document together, and you can meet the VAPLA committee and say, listen, this is what we want to do. This is what we think will benefit our people. Brother Sonny George here, he's an expert when it comes to this kind of issue. Dr. Toto, he's another person. I'm just naming a few that I know of. There are hundreds and thousands of Total citizens that the few of them, if they just come together, you earmark them, they come together, they can work along with you. You can put this document together with a budget, a cost budget attached. Because, say, for example, the only breadwinner for this lady who
Yes,
her
Mr.
son
Hello.
is at the hospital, okay, if he's discharged from the hospital, he might not be, he might have some form of disability now to assist his family.
Correct.
Okay, so uh, all of these things need to be addressed, like Brother Elijah said. All of these things need to be addressed, but you have to clearly lay out and define in terms of black and white, and also budget in how you're going to do this and how long is it going to be for. Is it going to be for 2 years, 3 years? Is it going to be for 5 years? Plan. You have to do everything. Then now the government, because the government of Liberia will come to you through health ministry, through education ministry, and all of that will come through the Tonona Vapla committee to you. But you have to, again, lay out everything. Like Brother Sonny George. Brother Sonny George posted this coming a long time, but we wanted to wait a little bit and share it with you. It's very, very important. You need to have this roadmap. We're gonna give you the chance to come in and quickly, and we'll start wrapping up. Maybe you can allow Sis Kuyate to come in if she has a comment on this, because I saw you all, kind of hanging head. Sis Kuyate can come in, and we can give 2 minutes also to Brother Dixon. Then we can give some time to Reverend Moma. Go ahead, Sis Kuyate.
Okay, when I was there for some management of Liberia is that when this disaster took place, they told us that we had 3 and 6 months planned. But when everything happened, they came in with 300 bags of rice. So they did the first distribution of the 300 bags of rice. but the other distribution was done by donation from the Nala Daisy and other people. But then we saw that the shortage of food was scarce in a warehouse because the warehouse was almost like empty. That's why we started asking them, oh, you told us that you had 3 months, 6 months period as a disaster management team of Liberia. But now we see that every one of us will just waiting if the nation don't drop, we will not distribute food. So they told us that they were going to get to that process so they can come. Because the one was saying, even if they were giving the body just rice and oil, but there was nothing to buy any other things with it. And we have been hearing about cash, even from our boss, Mr. Estrola Vapa. Since they chose him to be the leader of this particular disaster management team, that even people of Totota have problem with, because they say that they got people that are experienced, that might be educated like him, that they expected them to take the people from the person from Red Totota here, who will always be here to know the problem. But in another sense, they say that we are monkeys, so they took him. But since Esther took over as a chairperson. I've never one day heard him on the radio. So he say, oh, my people, kakbelaye, kakari, kakbelage, tingani, say again, you pass it, no. I've never heard him to even say that, to even console the people as a big person. It has never been. So it's something that we are not maybe disqualifying, or we are not to say we are not seeing his effort. We are seeing his effort, but he has to be done on a up level that those who down here cannot see his impact. When the president gave the 10 million $10, nothing had been sent to the local team on ground to even say, oh, this 10 million, at least we can send maybe 1 million to Totota, to the local team in Totota, so they can use it this way. It had never been. But when we asked them in the meeting, they told us that 2,000 United States that was sent to the Vera hospital. We agree that the same money to the Vera hospital, we agree. But even at that, it's not all the money that was sent to Vera hospital. And those people that we are talking about, that lost their children in family, they were a breadwinner for their people. There was some children in an accident. There were children who had a motorbike in Susu, and those motorbikes were running and paying Susu. So you see now, at the end of the day, now the burden have been left with the people, with their parents. So they lost their children. They also have to go and be put in Susu that children used to put when they had. You will not imagine that motorbike and all that pain. So it's a double loss to some people because they lost their children and also lost the motorbike, and they are now has the responsibility to do anything that those motorbike were in. So, like you saying that you want to talk to us on apply, it will be better because you really need to look down. Not they just choosing because maybe he will also everything will be done up. Sometimes he can't sit with the people he have never even worked in the community to come even the oh to the person of apply coming to even work from community to even talk to the people. So there are some things that he's doing that we who in particular because for me, I work with the women of total of Salah District. We are the concerned women, the one concerned women of Salah District. So those are things that because our team is moving around, speaking to the victim, and I see how the team and the whole leadership of the disaster management team. So those are things that they are telling us.
Wait,
And if
so
they say if left by then were able to move to Totota. He came, there's coming alone, a broad release to some people that they felt that, oh, what has happened to us? It didn't just happen to Totota alone, but now we observe that even the whole country or even the whole world, feeling our pain just by the presence by the presence of our president. So he can be the leader, and then we don't want to even come to even have a one parallel conversation with the people moving in the community to speak to the victim. So for us as a wise concern with of Tyler District, that is our problem that we have with him. We appreciate what he's doing on the level, but we also want him to even come in the community He's somebody who can speak our vernacular. That even when he speaks to the people, though it might not bring the life back to those people, but it will bring some release to them. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sister. Thank you, sis. This
Okay,
Peter.
thank you so
Oh,
much.
wait, before Brother Dixon comes in, this
Yeah,
is why I asked the question to Reverend. What was the working relationship between the Papala committee and the local committee on ground? So, because you listen to what our sister said, even for him to go on radio station. So for me, I know what I really want to call up for his boss name or what I really want to do for him, but I see there is no coordination between the team on ground and the disaster management committee. Seriously, there's no
yeah,
coordination because
yeah.
if you organize a committee, there should be a communication and there should be a contact working relationship. You can get somebody 16,000 Liberian dollars, then you say you set up a committee to go through what happened at Totota. So how much is 16,000 Liberian dollars? You buy
Yeah,
the
that's
5 gallon of gas, it finished.
yeah.
So there is a need for a
16,000.
roadmap. There is a need for a roadmap come up with all the necessity what our people need. Like you said, people are orphan. The children have to they go to school. When you take your money, you don't even have money to pay someone's school fee. Someone will come up with the roadmap. You can see how that project. You pass it to the responsible government ministry and agency to come into this to this to come and solve this problem. Even if they will not solve all, the idea that you have communicated with them, there will be something done, right?
Somebody will come from somewhere to
Somebody
assist
come
every
from
moment. Yeah,
somewhere.
so maybe you want to take this advice back to the committee, so the committee can start working on some of these things. Especially the comment from Brother Sonny George. I know you have Brother Sonny George contact. I mean, reach out to him, Dr. Toto, and see how you guys can put this budget together, put this plan together. It can be 3 years, 5 years plan. Put everything together to find a direct a direct path, like what are next steps after this entire disaster issue. Brother Dixon, you can come in with your closing comment, then we can have Reverend Moman coming in, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Like when he said, honestly, victim needs a lot to be done in responding to the comments of my own chairman, Mr. Josh. Quite recently, the Disaster Management Committee held by Honorable Vapla uh, make a report, and they told us they have been able to generate 10,232,340 Liberian dollars. 10,000,000
Can you call?
two
Can, uh-huh.
for
Is that a 10 million from the president?
the president. So
Okay.
10,232,340 Liberian dollars they have been able to generate. Of that money, they have expended 1,056,335 sorry, 1,026,354
But they ain't go to the
dollars.
president. How do I spend 1 million? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Please,
So that's
please
this
go
crowd.
over here, Brother Dixon.
See that?
Over him back. Please go over here.
So they have generated
Yeah.
10,232,300
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah.
They
And they
have
have
spent
260,000.
$1,354.54 Liberian dollars. They also raised in US dollar. They also raised in US dollar. They also raised $7,761.50. $7,761.50. All right, sorry, that was not what they spent. They raised $8,005 according to what we got here from their report. So they have been able to expand $7,761.50. So in line with all the money that came from mobile money, which is around $250 and other things they reported, Balance in cash for US dollars is 2,000. That is $240.50. Balance in cash for US dollar. Balance in cash for Liberian dollars is $9,205,985.46. That's the total balance they have in cash. Now, quite recently, there have been some talks with victims, some uprising, though it has been, but they report or those information are causing problem for victims. You raised 1,200,000 and some more thousand. Up to now, victims have not received. Now, they try to go to victims to talk to them, and the victims are hungry. Even if they had a rest that the disaster management committee is giving to them, remember they still need to buy some kind. Let somebody assume that they give them sardine and other things. But victims still need other things to be taken care of. So based upon that, there was a meeting held at the Upper Ring Church, and I was online with our diaspora partners. They did witness that meeting. The meeting resulted in serious noise. Why? Because the committee held by Honorable Vapla, though we want to appreciate them on this platform, but again, I think they need to do more. As it relates to the 450,000, no member of the committee over here in Totota that is able to write that proposal to the national government in the absence of Honorable Vapla's committee. So I think it's prudent enough if the committee headed by Honorable Vapla can do a proposal, comprehensive proposal to the government of the Republic of Liberia to outline the uses of this money, then that would have brought relief to the people of Toronto. Other than that, the social team or the local disaster management committee is going to be struggling like we are doing now. The psychosocial team is struggling. All of areas they are struggling. At the end of the day, they have to give you list of things that and like Mr. Directly place it. Those in the diaspora cannot underwrite the cost of what needs to be done in Toronto. They cannot underwrite the cost of restoring the peace and stability of this area. It is binding on the National Disaster Management Team. It is binding on the National Disaster Management Committee to be able to restore the stability of the community. So until that is done, I think the community needs to do more. And we are happy that you are paying host to Honorable Vapla, at least to give clarity. Concern.
The questions and provide answer. The suggestions made by Tony Josh, I think, is well, and we need to take it up, maybe at the level the trauma healing department of the Lutheran.
Oh, come in, program.
Yeah.
Very
Mom, are
rapid.
you there? So okay. Um,
The
I think
stickers.
yeah, we can just have our closing comment. We're gonna give we'll give a minute to just a minute each. Elijah, you can do a minute, then
Yeah,
couple
but
do a
just in
minute.
case he comes back.
Just
Yeah,
in case
just
he
in
come back, we just allow him to just
Can
complete
continue.
his comment. But it's actually challenging, and
It's
it's
very, very
really a
challenging.
need.
So,
There's really a
oh,
need to have
you see, there is the right there, where he wants to cover up for his boss man. Yes, that one he wants to do, but you can see there is no
yeah.
working relationship. There's no working relationship. Why would someone give you
More
16?
bad. You just cover say
For
because
serious, then why would you get 16,000? Then you say you have to call that working relationship. Is that called that
Sixty
working relationship?
thousand US dollars.
It's
That's
one
not even
thing.
a drop. That's
A
not even a
month.
drop in the bucket. What is that?
Well, the taxi is saying that for now, if I committee must do the roadmap. You can do the
Okay,
roadmap and give it to him.
the Jonah
all right.
Babla
He's a
communication
civil
do
center.
road
You
map
can
because
even use that
because
same roadmap to
So
generate all the form for all the NGOs. It will come
right.
in.
what the heck you doing with $10 million setting, the $9 million
There you
setting
go.
in the
When you have
operate?
But that's the thing though. That's the thing though. They had
Okay.
ten
when you
million
give me
dollars,
the
right? They
call,
had
it's for
10
you to
million. They had 10 million, but they have already used 1 million in Vapla had not even stopped in Totota.
yeah. Look at
Yeah,
what I
Vapla
did.
had not even stopped in Totota and he
Yeah,
already
so the
used one
people, yeah,
million.
he already used 1 million. So who you
And he had not even stopped in Totota. You know. So even tell the person
No, if
Akola, he not even do that.
yeah, calculate,
He didn't even do
you,
that.
if,
It's not
He
said.
even
if you
stopped.
take
He already used 1 million. He stopped in Totota. Why ain't he stopped in Totota? What will happen?
that 10 million going straight, if
No,
you
he
stop
will
in
come.
order.
He no, he's coming next week. We've already
That
we
is.
spoke with him. He was okay.
Let
Yeah,
me
you can wrap up Reverend Moma. You can wrap up Reverend Moma, please.
go ahead, Reverend
We need
Woman.
to come back from you. Nothing we heard from you, so please come back.
Oh no, you
Oh,
are you
No,
were
we were just having a
you were
side
there for the
conversation
Hello,
because
conversation.
you were out. So we're having a side. We're trying to wrap up. So, Reverend
hello,
Moma, we're going to give
hello.
you a yes, Reverend Moma, we're going to give you a minute to please wrap up. We're going to give you a minute to wrap up. Then each of us will kind of wrap up now for us to close.
Hello.
Yes, we are
Is
hearing you.
that they
We're
are
going to
not
give you
getting
a minute to wrap up, please.
is that they are not getting us. Yeah, hearing us, right? It's like they are not getting us at all.
yeah, the internet I tend
Can you
to.
can you cut now and bring it back on with it?
The prophet King said that internet I get into Zulili.
Yeah, we're too late.
The
No, but
eventually.
no, but honestly, right? It's some things that are not really yet clear. I didn't understand
Yes,
what
yes,
a lot of things are
it's
not
not
clear. Number
fair.
one, the contribution from the diaspora. I hear that okay, motorbike was donated and then
They said
400.
that that's the only real money that they have worked with.
That's the only
The
money they
money
got.
from the diaspora.
Contribution from the
Yeah,
diaspora, and it
So
was
you
sent to the
see,
clinic.
and
So
this
yeah,
committee was set. Remember, committee was set up by he Tonona Fapra, right? It's a subcommittee under that committee to be
no,
on ground.
no, he said I think it's the Lutheran church that set up the
no,
no
no,
No,
not the
no.
Lutheran
no,
church but
no.
Not a
He said
Lutheran church.
a literature because I brought it up. He said no, it's not a literature. They were set up committee set up by he Tonona Fapra.
Yep, that's
so
a subcommittee.
he spent 1 million to set up the committee. He finished using 1 million to set up the committee and have the committee stating he spent 1 million.
When you take the phone today, when you ask Turn off Vapla, take it from me. When we meet, the first thing Turn off Vapla will tell you that the $1 million Liberian dollar and the almost 8,000 US dollar that they raised, he will tell you that they pay it to hospitals.
Yeah,
And especially when some of those hospitals they were providing completely philanthropic services to these people. So there will be a need for us to sit down and listen to how Tonola Vapla will break down to us how the $1 million was spent, and then why he got $9 million sitting in the bank, and you
one
have
minute.
the victims
Hold up,
9 million.
9 million.
let,
Yeah,
let,
they
let,
can
let,
do
Yeah,
that
let me
now.
let me play the devil's advocate. Let me play the devil's advocate for Reverend Vapla. Let me say Reverend Vapla for Mr. Vapla. For Mr. Vapla. Let me play the devil's advocate. The 9 million is sitting because you have not given us a complete roadmap how you're going to use the nine
Not
million.
only it could be too. It could be. That's what you want
who's
to use
supposed to
it.
develop a roadmap for a disaster for a
The people
national
are having an
disaster?
issue. No,
No, no,
Elijah.
no.
The people are having
No,
an issue. No. Yeah.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
The subcommittee in Totota is an
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
implementing committee for the national disaster management team. So
Okay.
whatever comes from the national disaster management team trickle down to the local management team. So if Totona Vapla have written out a clear roadmap and says, this is what we're going to use this money for, and local community in Totota, this is $5 million. This is going to the victim's family for XYZ. This is going. Then this committee implement based on that. Also, like you say, if the Totota committee want to be proactive, they can also write a program with clear objective, like Brother Sonny George recommended, and also Senator Totota Vapla say he's not working. Then they can be proactive and develop their own programs and request the funding. Because you can have $9 million sitting in the bank,
I have
and then you
another.
have them sitting
You know,
home.
I have another view of that, right? I
Or,
have
okay.
another view of that. The disaster management committee is there for emergency, right? Just
Right.
imagine
Yes.
it happened like that. An emergency, they came in with that emergency contribution, right? And now
Right.
they
Yeah.
set up the subcommittee from where the disaster took place.
Right.
Okay, go ahead and do your assessment. What
Right.
are the needs of these people? Send it
Exactly.
to us, then we will
Yes.
come in the morning to see how
There
else
you
these
go.
people can go ahead.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
how I
I
see
agree
it.
when you couple. I
Yeah,
agree when you
Because
couple.
they're
When
very
you
simple.
said
Elijah,
when you
Elijah,
said working relationship between the local and the national disaster management committee, that's the problem. I think there's a communication breach between the work
Yeah,
the two committees,
yeah,
because if they were effectively working together, the Boma, the committee that Larry Moman is serving on, and that of the VAPLA committee, there will be a comprehensive report coherent with the work level from the locals. But the locals are getting report from Vapla here when he's not in Totota, he's not visiting Totota, but he's sending report and say, I spent $1 million on XYZ. And then the locals are saying we are struggling. The only money we receive is 16,000 LD, which is not even a drop in the bucket. So where do we stand with this situation?
my man,
they're very
16,000
wrap
LD is
up.
like 16,000 LD is like drinking poison and drink water. It will clear out of your system. It won't do nothing. I want again.
Right.
So what couple said? No, seriously, 16,000
Yeah.
is like drinking poison and drinking water that's clear off. Listen to what
Then
this
we got a
couple said, and
Mama
again, I want to
that
say this. No, Reverend Moma is coming in, but I want to say this, Elijah, and this is very helpful to them because if they wait for Tonala Vapla to operate, like Sis Fita is saying, he had not even gone to the place yet to say, Akbelai. He had not even done that, but he has spent $1 million. But if they are very proactive, like Sonny just the brother Sonny just said, they need to be proactive. They need to have all of these things down and say, listen, what if he comes down and say, okay, we have not given you the $9 million because you said, no, we got people here, here,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
want this.
This is
Our
how
people
we
that are
have to.
coming from the hospital, there's how we want to
Yeah,
integrate them into the society. Our children are going back to school.
Mhm.
There's what we want for them to have continual counseling. We
yeah,
want to pay for counselors to be in these areas. We want for these
Mhm.
people to have, for the first 6 months, for them to have feeding, for them to have feeding for these people,
food
so
for
that
them.
and for also to do a community awareness that these people don't bully them, don't look at them as criminals, okay? Because we are being used, yeah, and our community radios are very good at propagating these messages, okay? But we
Yeah.
need to have it done in black and white, like Brother Sonny just said. We shouldn't wait for them. He said it here. He said, "Don't wait for the VAPLA committee. Don't wait for them."
I, I
Yeah.
agree.
So
I
go
agree.
ahead, Reverend Moma.
Let me continue.
All right, so again, like I said, thank you for this platform. It has been actually a rewarding time. Um, Truly speaking, or frankly speaking, there's a need. The suggestions made by Sonny George, it's well taken. We think we can liaise with the trauma healing department of the Lutheran Church in Liberia to raise such a concern so that a project can be written regarding the needs that is now arising as a result of the disaster in Totota. Really speaking,
Mhm.
we need to get in touch with those because when we go out and ask people, I mean, or counsel people, the next thing they come up with, what next? After all
Mhm.
of the counseling, after we have our brothers and sisters
Right.
returned,
What
Yeah,
next?
yeah, and that
But
that's
yeah.
so
serious.
and so like what just sent out the text, we actually buy into that, and we're going to get in touch with the Lutheran Trauma Healing Program so that the idea of a project in requesting funding to further assist victims or terrorists to be able to alleviate their problem. Because, like you are saying, we went somewhere, a little boy who was also involved in the accident, he came, his whole arm has not yet healed properly, but because he's a breadwinner in the family, he has to forcibly get on back to ride. And looking at such a situation, happens to fall, just a little scratch in that wound, it will open up, it will become very dangerous for him.
Yeah.
So these are needs that we take into consideration when we talk about writing projects as to how the disaster committee can actually step in. Regarding the Vapla, yes, there's a need, a whole lot he needs to do. He has the committee. The committee is being spearheaded alongside with one Kamo Kane, the other one Salina Polsin, and one Toto, the one in Liberia here. They are the one that are signatories to the bank account. He's not a signatory to the bank account. So whatever is being disbursed from there is being disbursed, but based on his three signatories, and their report comes from them, and he's only a signatory to it. But we need more intervention, specifically regarding the victims. If nothing is done, the guys sometimes go to the point of almost wanting to strike, and which we think, if anything of such go on, we are looking at the image of what has happened. It's already disturbed. And so for people to get on the strike where it will move on, that's why for us we are concerned about the 50,000. I mean the $450,000 a major concern for our brethren when they heard when they were sick. And so for them, that money should be used for them. Bapla said to us, well, for them, the key to take care of disaster right now. So after the disaster has been managed, what next? That is the next question that we all have to ask, and it needs to be answered.
All right, so Reverend Moma, like I said, if you look on the screen, Brother Sonny George says that he volunteered and he's going to recommend other experts to work along with you, those from Totota, including the trauma healing program. So reach out to Brother Sonny George. He will bring those experts to work along, and you guys can put this document together. And if it means that you go to your legislature, okay, your representative, you go to the Bond County Legislative Caucus and everything, and reach out so that the needed help can come to Totota, Bond County.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
We want to thank you again so much for being here with us. Thank you so much. Reverend Moma, if you can just hang with us just for only 5 minutes. We're gonna give a minute to Brother Elijah Zena. He will make his closing comment. Sis Couple will take a minute. I will take a minute. And always when a reverend comes on the show, we want you to please give us the benediction. So please just give us 3 minutes and you do our benediction, please.
Thank you, thank you, Fita, and thank you, Dixon, John Dixon, for making up the time. I know it's very late in Liberia right now. It's a huge sacrifice that you guys are making right now, and to make sure to bring the issue of the people of Totota to this platform. And I too am from Totota, and I know the community, and Totota is on our heart. We are talking about these things because we know the impact it has on the community, and we have to make sure as people of Totota to make sure that our people are served properly. So we are going to continue to propagate the message. Like we said, next Sunday we're going to be sitting down with Mr. Vapla and asking him some real tough questions here next Sunday. And if the need be, if some of you are able to get on the phone, we will be able to call you guys to make a contribution on that show next Sunday, because this is a national disaster and it has to be treated as such. Not when the situation happened immediately, Then you have people come show political faces around, and then everybody go away, and then the situation remains the same. And this is the situation that we are saying in total, that everybody come. I am this other person. I am this other person. All the big names come around, and then but nothing is actually done to solve the problem on the ground. And you guys are dealing with this situation on a daily basis. So we are here to make sure that we can amplify your voices toward the larger community so that something can be done to help you guys in this process of helping our people on the ground. So I just want to say thank you for making up the time, and we look forward to talking to you guys again.
Thank you, Brother Zidane. Sis Couple.
Yeah, once again, we want to say thank you, Reverend, to the team, you and your team. To my sister, I want to say thank you so much. I really want the women to continue what they have started. The women should not stop, continue, come up with those issues, raise those issues. And I wish you could be available on Sunday where you will place a call to Brother Fapla to answer some of these questions, because you cannot be having a committee on disaster take place and you cannot even go on the scene to see what is happening there. So it really needs to be looked at. Yes, and the committee need to come up with a roadmap that Brother Sonny just saying volunteer in Paris to craft it, to sit on a round table with you people, for you people to develop that roadmap. Probably Fabla is keeping an eye out, sitting waiting to see what will come from the committee. What are those things that the committee will develop and say this is what we want. So you never try, you never know. Y'all can list with Brother George. Yeah, develop the framework and submit it to him and see him. Like you talk about the counseling, yeah, you come and counsel me, but I don't have food to eat. How do I eat? How do I pay my children's school fee? An old lady who got their son who have been providing for her, he died. Are you expecting her to eat? This is a very serious issue that needs to be looked at. It really needs to be looked at. Yeah, so the committee needs to work tirelessly. And I think the four mayor need to add another group. People need to come on board to volunteer. It's all about volunteering your service to your community, to your county. Yeah, so and another thing again, I don't know the relationship again with the lawmaker. So how is it going about? Or the lawmaker, they are only in contact with the FAPARA committee? What happened to the local committee on ground? So these are things we all need to look at. We want to say thank you again. And another, like I said, there are people stay in the hospital. Yeah, because I got it from a reliable source, especially the 14 military hospital. So there was a guy who had been in the ICU since when. So, and even in this framework, there should be some recommendation to government. How do we treat brain? I don't think we have brain specialists, because I guess most people die because we don't know how to handle brain. So these are recommendations to national government to see how best we can come up. Police, how do police safeguard the life and property of our people? When I think of here, that was the first thing to go and barricade the place. But they didn't do it. Yeah, I even heard that there was another thing called Ben parking down there. I don't know whether they have taken it from there. But I heard from my sister that, because my sister, her husband, and nephew were in that place. He was the boy who was even in the temple. Everybody said that they not even see nothing of him. Yeah. So this is a very serious problem. Like we said, one way or the other. We knew people from there. We are connected with people one way or the other for what happened at Totota. So, Reverend, we say thank you. You have been making effort, but there are still effort that needs to be made. Yeah. Let the local communities, let the affected community feel the presence of both the local committees and the national committee, please. And another question I wanted to ask, are there any other committee that is responsible for such a thing that you people are going through? Other churches, is there any other local committee set up to carry on these things, or only your committee that is in Totota?
All right.
So far, the committee in Totota is the only committee set.
Oh,
And under the local disaster committee is where we are also placed. But you have those responsible for the distribution of food. So that's a committee also there. During the heat of the disaster, we have burial committee also set. So they were responsible for burial
Yeah.
that took place. So
So
there,
I think there are a lot of subcommittee. I think this subcommittee can come together and form a complete committee because even that place where where the disaster took place, that should be a scene where even if you're traveling on the highway, people can be able to stand. So once upon a time, something happened. There will be some symbols of what happened down there to remember that spot. Yeah, that's what people do. I can remember when I came to Canada, I was in Labrador, there was an accident. They call on the Trans-Canada Highway. So 17 persons died in that accident. And when I came to Canada, that was around the area where I live. So when I was driving, when we reached to the place and I had my host told me, he said, couple, you see, and they planted cross, 17 cross, they planted. He said, you remember there was an accident on the highway, on the Trans-Canada Highway? He said, this is where it happened. So they planted the cross for people to know that there was something that happened here. So they are gone. Yeah, we cannot ask God why, but there should be some symbol. Yeah,
To remember.
to show some solidarity to those who lost their life. So there's more to be done. Very need to work along with your boss. You need to come up with a roadmap, present it to him, and see how best. The next time that we should be talking, the next time we should be talking. Well, okay, we developed the roadmap. Yeah, these are our plan. Okay, we have already submitted it to the committee. And yeah, for the problem, waiting for you people. I want to say thank you again and thank you so much for feeling yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sis couple. Reverend, we want to say thank you for taking up the time. And also to our brother Dixon, back and forth coordination. I most especially want to thank our sister Fita. You know, Fita, um, she's not only the
please get
new lady among the three of you, but sis
hello,
Fita is bold.
right.
Sorry,
Please get the name right. It's Fata.
Oh,
Fata.
Fata.
Okay,
Fata.
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 Sis Fata Kuyate. Yeah. Okay. Sis Fata is actually bold indeed. Fata uh, was able to hold the bull by the horn, saying that, yeah, much as you are the leader, at least he should have, by now, follow in the footstep of the president of the Republic of Liberia, President Joseph Newman Boakai, that he came on the scene to identify with the people. So, as chairperson of that committee, he had been appointed by President Boakai. He should have at least come to the community and, in fact, spend a couple of days with the people in the community so they know that their own son is in solidarity with them. But until now, he had never visited the place. Um, we want to thank you all so much. We hope that next week, like this couple said, take the phone and call. Okay, take the phone call in, and so you can throw some questions to Mr. Vapla. Mr. Vapla is your own son, brother, um, nephew of Totota or of Bond County. Okay, and you know he will be in studio to address those questions. But the recommendation from our senior brother Sonny George, Reverend Moma, I want you to take this seriously. I don't know if you're the chairperson of this committee, Reverend Moma, but you people need to take this very, very serious. Um, have the roadmap and meet with the leaders and tell them, say, listen, this is what we want to do, this is what we plan to do, and this is the document that we have. And I don't think they will oppose to that because they know that you are walking in the right direction. You have your head above your shoulder. But if you're waiting on them to do it, nothing will be done right now. We want to thank you all so much. And every moment we'll give you the opportunity to please just bless us, give us the benediction, and we'll be closing for today.
All right, thank you. Honorable Butler has not worked in the community, that's a fact. But for meetings that are held on the Saturdays, he's here at the Upper Room Church. That's where we usually meet to have the meeting for the disaster committee along with the citizenry. So he has not worked in the community, that's a fact. But not that he has not been into that. He comes to Totota, but that's where he stopped at the Upper Room Pentecostal International Church where we host the regular meeting. All right.
Thank you for the clarification.
All right.
All right. Yeah, you
All
can
right.
bless us now, please, with the benediction.
Okay. So let us pray. Today we had the opportunity to have spoken at the St. John Lutheran Church on the theme Jesus, the true emblem to salvation, talking about the children of Israel in the wilderness when they were traveling and they had a problem with food and water. They all started to complain at Moses, why you brought us here to die. And what I was lifting to them was that as leader, as people, be aware and be prepared all the time that you will do all you can in your strife. At the end of the day, someone will stab you at the bite for little or nothing. And so we are already in this boat. And the best thing we can do when such a thing happens, we need to look up as was called unto the children of Israel. And so while we are all looking up, let us look up for each other because somebody will be there who don't have the know-how. But when we all look up for each other, I think this situation we have in Liberia can be abated. One other thing I would also like to suggest to the diaspora citizen, thank you for the intervention. Thank you for the assistance. But I hope that it won't only be for disaster that we had this kind of intervention in Liberia. There are many people that want to have the opportunity. The diaspora citizen could decide to say, look, we will support this project in Totota or in this school. Maybe our government school need to be lifted to this kind of a level. So that kind of an idea, government is not providing those kind of incentives that are needed within this kind of an area. So after the disaster intervention, we hope that the next thought of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora could be a growth for the community. Water system is a problem, and these are things that we hope that can be thought of. Safe drinking water is a problem. When you talk about typhoid in Liberia, other things in Liberia, it's a result of the unsafe drinking water. Thank you. Let us pray. And so, Father, we thank you for this night. Thank you for this platform that you afforded us the opportunity that we all could be a part. We pray, Lord, for those that have developed it. And thank you for whatever will be done and said here, oh God. May you be glorified as your blessings rest with us. Bless them and bless us as we leave, not from each other, but in your presence. Thank you. This we ask in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you so
Larry.
much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the